Wrestling with NXT versus TNA Showdown. Um, they better not do this in an elimination chamber in Germany. I'm just saying. But yeah, um, talk about quality TV for a random Tuesday night in the month of October. Um, Ethan Page will defend his North American Championship against Mustafa Ali. Um, all of these matches are NXT versus TNA, so keep that in mind. Um, I don't see Mustafa actually winning this, so Ethan Page for the W. Winner takes all match for the for the TNA World Tag Team Championships and the NXT Tag Team Championships. Everyone is banned from ringside, including the fans. This will be shot theatrically. No, I'm joking. Um, the Hardys, Matt and Jeff Hardy, will be taking on Dark State, Dion Lennox, and Oasis Griffin. Um, I don't think the Hardys are coming to NXT to lose. I mean, they're the freaking Hardys, and these guys are, glorified jobbers at this point. So, I mean, yes, they're trying to present Dark State in a better light, in a positive light, and that they're a threat. But it doesn't necessarily change the fact that we've only started caring about these guys in the last maybe like 2 to 3 weeks in the 6 months that they've been there. Literally nobody has given a shit about them. I mean the Hardys are the Hardys, so why wouldn't they want to give them, the NXT titles, the only titles that they've never held? And I mean, TNA has kind of been has been NXT's bitch at this point. So I mean, TNA needs something, and I mean their hardest hitters are the Hardys at this point. So it makes sense that it would be the Hardys. Alright, 4-on-4 Women's Survivor Series tag team match with Jordan Grace as the special guest referee, which kind of does change the whole dynamic of this. Um, we have the bakery's hottest, JC Jane to the beat. Hey, you don't even have to move your feet. Miss Parker, Sol Ruka, and Lola Rice. Literally the greatest accumulation of women talent ever of all time. They, they will be taking on team unemployed WW. I mean TNA. But I don't necessarily. I don't necessarily like this TNA team, if I'm being completely honest. It's just ex WWE girls and Kalani Jordan, who's still technically employed by WWE. Um, I get why. I do question where the fuck is Rosemary. She must be injured at this point. Um, I mean, Tessa would have been a nice addition, but I don't think they want to hear. WWE wants to hear she's a racist in the TNA building. And, obviously Masha was sent home for the whole domestic violence dispute, and, Ash by Elegance, informally retiring. So, I mean, it is kind of a put together on TNA's side, which is kind of sad considering TNA has had some of the best women pro wrestlers, like generally all around. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I should have announced, who is actually on this team. Team TNA is Kalani Jordan, Jessie McKay, Cassie Lee, and Mara Sadie, which was Jakara Jackson in NXT. There's some. First and foremost, I would have personally liked the 5-on-5. My opinion. Just, purely, opinion based. But considering we're 4-on-4, I would have said, NXT, 100% of the way because uh, obviously they have the more heavy hitters at this point. But Jordan Grace definitely adds a sense of the unknown in all of this, the variable, so to speak. Um, she wanted to be on the TNA team. I don't know. Well, I will say this: whoever doesn't win the men's team, whoever loses on the men's team, the women's team is going to win the other one. So I'm gonna say I'm still gonna say the NXT women win this match. I think Jordan Grace has to kind of prove herself that she's NXT and not TNA anymore, and this might actually be her way of maybe screwing TNA, and maybe we'll get some type of rivalry out of it. I don't see her going up against JC anytime soon, so I think she already had her issues with Jada. So I mean, she could go for solo of Lola, but she already beat Lola. Yeah, I feel fairly confident that the women will win this match. Um, then the 4-on-4 men's team, we have Team NXT, Ricky Saints, Trick Williams, Javon Evans, and Miles Bourne versus Team TNA, Mike Santana, Frankie Kazarian, Moose, and Leon Slater. Um, One of these things are not like the other. Mike Santana announcing the teams. Frankie Kazarian, Big Pop. Mike Santana announces Moose, Big Pop. Mike Santana announced Leon Slater. Meh. I get why they're putting Leon on this show. Obviously, they have big hopes for him. Want to get him that exposure, and being on NXT makes perfect sense. With the men, it does kind of seem like a clusterfuck because a lot of these guys don't like each other. Frankie doesn't like Santana. Moose likes nobody. Leon's happy to be there. And then you have on the men's side, the NXT side, Ricky and Trick, already has issues. Trick and Javon have issues. Miles doesn't even know he's in the match. I'm joking. Um, I feel like this has the workings of TNA. Mike Santana getting a W on Trek, or because I could. A lot of the guys on the NXT side don't really need this win. They don't. But TNA's really trying to establish Mike Santana as their guy. So, being the flag bearer that beat Team NXT, that goes a long way. And then, Bound for Glory, that's, the inauguration of the new king, so to speak. So I see a lot of clusterfuckery on the NXT side. Trick probably leaves them high and dry. We'll probably get an incident with Josh Briggs. What is this? what was his name? Jasper Troy is probably going to make some type of appearance. I mean, he wasn't up. He was pretty upset that he wasn't in the match. Um, so yeah, TNA for the win on the men's side, NXT for the women, and yeah. Right, that will conclude our coverage of NXT versus TNA Showdown.
Hey, folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show. Support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.